My YouTube playlist into a podcast. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work, but anyway, so I'm going to start streaming. Hopefully, this will go directly to the podcast playlist and everybody will be able to see it. So, anyway, again, this is Ken Krager with Black Swan Financial Advisors. I also, again, I wanted to just bring up and make sure each time I introduce the community at Possibilities Achieved, a community, a collaborative community to help families and friends and people that want to help out people with special needs. This is the Facebook group. Please search for it. It's open for everybody. Anybody can join. It's diagnosis and location agnostic, so anybody can join it. The website's not up and ready yet, but it will be hopefully shortly. So again, Possibilities Achieved. This video is for educational purposes only. So I just want to make sure everybody understands it's educational purposes only. And so now I'm going to get into just a topic that's kind of interesting. It's kind of a fun topic, something that I saw recently in some financial literature. And I want to talk a little bit about the reality of keeping up with the Joneses, or maybe more appropriately today for keeping up with the Kardashians, okay? And what that might mean for the typical American, or actually anybody, a typical person or family, if they're trying to keep up with the Kardashians. So, interesting statistic, the average American just doesn't save enough. 56% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings account, and 30% don't even have a savings account. So, average household income, you can see here, the amount of savings that you would need to replace 3 months of income if you get unemployed or you get sick or something like that. Recently, I've been unemployed a few times in my life, and you need to pay your bills, you need to pay the mortgage or the rent, you need to pay the car payment and all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of very concerning. So ask yourself this question. If you got $10,000 raise this year, or say you even just got $10,000, what would you do with it? So most people might think that, well, I'm going to spend some of it, but I'm definitely going to save most of it. And the reality is that doesn't usually happen. Usually we spend every single dollar. So we'll get a raise at work, our take-home pay will go up, and next thing you know, you spend it. And so basically we inflate our lifestyles to match our income. And we always feel like, we want to feel better, and sometimes we feel like we'll feel better if we get a new car or a new TV or nicer new furniture or better stuff than the neighbor has. Maybe I need to get a pool at my house. And so we start spending money that we really don't have, really, in a sense. A lot of times people will go into debt to do this. And it in the long run, it doesn't really even lead to happiness, or in fact, you might feel guilty. Me and my family, my wife, we get buyer's remorse all the time, especially if we go spend some money on a major item that costs quite a bit of money. But the reality is that saving money and using it to increase your personal financial freedom does make lasting improvements in your well-being and quality of life. So that security reduces stress and everything. And if you have planned for the future and you're saving and you have a smart investment plan or whatever, and you have enough money that if you're unemployed or something, or you get sick or something, so as you'll see, money saved generates future income, and income is what sets you free. And freedom is what really makes us happy. So if you have enough income now while you're working, and later when you go into retirement, as long as your income needs are met comfortably and you're able to do the things that you would like to do, not everything, not buy everything, but some, focus on a couple of key things that would add joy and happiness to your life. So a study conducted earlier this year showed that 49% of Americans, even many with high incomes, even a lot with, they couldn't come up with $400 of emergency cash. Okay? And so often when you see someone who seems to live well, especially above the job that they might have, they don't have a secret skill. They have a secret pile of debt. And that's like a concrete block around your neck or something wrapped around your feet. And so one benefit of wealth is having enough money to spend on the few things that bring you joy. So I like barbecuing. I like traveling. Whatever we like to do, it's different for each person. And so something to think about is maybe instead of just looking around you and seeing what other people have, their boats and their, razors and their ATVs and their RVs and everything, is maybe, kind of figure out and focus on a couple of key things that actually really do bring you joy. I do buy premium meat so I can barbecue. I like a really good steak. I like a really good brisket, right? So, but if I can, focus on just a couple of things that really make a difference, and then I can save the money that I'm going to need in the future. So, like I said, maybe pick 2 or 3 things and then cut back on everything else. And, if over time, if you want to switch to something else, don't add to your list of things that you want to spend money on. Swap out something new for something that you've been doing. And I would suggest that everybody start with socking away at least 10% of their income and try to bump it up to 15% until you get comfortable with both your saving and spending habits. Now, this is interesting because, again, somebody might get a 5% raise, or they get a new job and they get a 10% raise, and their savings didn't go up. This is something that I talked to about with my brother, and something that I've been able to implement over time is, at least half of your increases in wages or, raises or promotions or whatever, take at least half of it and increase your savings percent. So maybe you got a 5% raise and you're already saving 10% of your salary or your annual income, and you get a 5% raise, and so maybe you take 2.5%, boost your savings to 12.5%, and then spend the other 2.5%. And if you just do that over 10 years or 15 years, pretty soon you'll be saving 20% of your income or more. And that can really be significant. So don't adjust your lifestyle to your income. Make sure that, you take advantage and you spend some of that on savings. So the key to saving isn't about raising your income. It's not about saving a penny here or there. It's understanding yourself better and shaking all those frivolous desires from your mind. So once you got that down, you can get your money to work for you instead of you working for your money, right? So now, to give you a little bit of hope, it doesn't take a whole lot to make a huge difference. So I just wanted to throw this in at the very end. Okay? This is if you save only $250 a month. Time is your friend and time is your enemy. hopefully you start this saving, this habit. You really need to turn it into a habit. You need to increase it a little bit every year. But a little bit can go a long way. So look what happens if you started with $3,000 this year, which is $250 a month, and you put it away for 40 years and you got a 6% return, which if you dollar cost average into the stock market and you have 40 years and you're not close to retirement and you don't need this money, look at the outcome. In 40 years, you have $500,000. Okay, so start now. Now think about this. If you started with $250 a month, and then you got a raise, and you went to $300 a month, and then you went to $350 a month. Every couple of years you go up $50 a month. This would be huge. And so anyway, I would just encourage you guys to think about the cost of trying to keep up with the Joneses or the Kardashians. Thanks again. I hope you watch my podcast, watch my videos. Take care. Again, this is for educational purposes only. Ken Krager from Black Swan Financial Advisors, and again, the community at Possibilities Achieved. I just throw this up there one more time, and thanks again.